Athabasca. Mr. Speaker, on the one hand, we have the Minister of Public Safety, who repeatedly said that he invoked the Emergency Measures Act. That was historic, it had never been done before, and he said that he did it at the request of police forces. But the problem is that, on the other hand, all police forces without exception said at committee that they had never asked for this. So, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask the minister to do the only honorable thing left for him: resign. The Honorable Minister of Public Safety. Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we've been very clear. We will always protect Canadians. We will always meet their needs and protect them, and that is why we invoked the Emergency Measures Act. We sought police advice in that process, and we used that advice to inform our decisions. Now, on the other side of the House, the Conservatives encouraged the illegal blockades, and they should apologize. The Honourable Member, Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Emergency Preparedness and former Chief of Police mentioned at committee, in reference to the Emergencies Act, I don't think it would have been appropriate for law enforcement to ask for the act, and they didn't. So the reality here is that we are dealing with a Minister of Public Safety who has zero credibility. There's only one thing left for him to do, only one honorable thing: to resign. What is he waiting for? The Honorable Minister.
Monsieur le Président.
Well, Mr. Speaker, this government will always defend our decision to invoke the Emergencies Act. It was a necessary decision. The Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police support that decision. Same thing for the Ontario Police Chiefs. And other organizations are also supporting the decision. And why? Because it was necessary. On this side of the House, we understand that, but the Conservatives don't seem to. They should apologize for their own role in the illegal blockades.
Mr. Speaker, the Public Safety Minister continues to hide the truth from Canadians on the use of the Emergencies Act. The Minister cannot just tell Canadians that the Act was necessary. He must show them. That's his job. To quote the Emergency Preparedness Minister, I do not believe that would have been an appropriate thing for law enforcement to ask, and they did not ask. The Public Safety Minister has misled Canadians and Parliament. Will he resign today?
The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, we have been consistent and clear on this side of the House that the decision to invoke the Emergencies Act was necessary because it was needed to restore public safety. But let me quote from the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police, OACP President Chief Gary Conn, who said, in our view, the Emergencies Act provides the appropriate authorities and powers for police services to ensure the rule of law and the safety of citizens. This has been our experience, particularly during the Freedom Convoy 2022. That's law enforcement for you, Mr. Speaker. It's the Conservatives who exacerbated their situation with their reckless behaviour.
The Honourable Member for Miramichi-Grand Lake.
Mr. Speaker, more diversion tactics to avoid answering one simple question. The Public Safety Minister has misled Canadians and Parliament. Law enforcement did not ask to have the use of the Emergencies Act. It's just that simple. To quote the Emergency Preparedness Minister, I'm not aware of any recommendation of law enforcement. Mr. Speaker, will the minister do the honourable thing and resign today, right now?
The Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, doing the honourable thing means protecting Canadians. That's why we invoke the Emergencies Act, Mr. Speaker. Doing the honourable thing means not taking that decision in a vacuum, which means consulting with police, searching for their advice, and using that advice to inform the decision of the Emergencies Act, which is why police associations across the country supported the decision. And it is the Conservatives who knew all too well, Mr. Speaker, that by making reckless statements to ask the illegal blockades to double down, to entrench, that they were undermining public safety, and they should apologize for that role. They undermine public safety. On this side of the House, we protect it.
The Honourable Member for